Welcome. Here we learn about the black slaves Argentina erased from history. How Argentina made its black population disappear. When people talk about slavery in the Americas, they usually mention Brazil, the Caribbean, or the United States. Almost no one mentions Argentina. And that's strange? Because in the 18th century, Buenos Aires was one of the largest slave ports in South America. At one point, up to 30% of the city was black. So here's the question history rarely answers. What happened to Argentina's black population? And why does one of the most European-looking countries in Latin America have such a silent past? Black slavery in Argentina, the hidden beginning. From the 1600s to the early 1800s, enslaved Africans were brought to Argentina through Buenos Aires, Montevideo, then part of the same colonial region. Most enslaved Africans came from West Central Africa, Congo and Angola, Upper Guinea. They worked as domestic servants, dock workers, artisans, soldiers. Unlike plantation slavery in Brazil or the Caribbean, Argentina's slavery was urban and military, and that made it easier to control, exploit, and discard. Historian George Reid Andrews, the Afro-Argentines of Buenos Aires, wrote, Buenos Aires depended heavily on enslaved African labor well into the 19th century. How Argentina used black slaves as disposable soldiers. Here's where Argentina becomes unique and brutal. During the War of Independence, Civil Wars, the War of the Triple Alliance, 1864 to 1870, black slaves and freed blacks were forced into frontline military service. They were promised freedom. They were sent first into battle. Most never returned. Historian Daniel Shavelson noted, Afro-Argentines were systematically recruited for the most dangerous military roles. In the War of the Triple Alliance alone, Argentina lost a huge percentage of its black male population. Mortality among black soldiers was disproportionately high. This wasn't accidental. Disease, poverty, and neglect. After war came disease. In 1871, Buenos Aires was hit by a yellow fever epidemic. The hardest hit neighborhoods? Poor. Overcrowded. Predominantly black. The government response was slow. Medical care was unequal. Entire black communities were wiped out. Historian Lea Geler explains, Afro-Argentines suffered higher mortality due to poverty, segregation, and lack of state protection. Erasure by design, whitening Argentina. Unlike countries that openly segregated, Argentina chose a different path. Erased blackness entirely. The government promoted massive European immigration. Intermarriage encouraged to dilute black identity. Census categories that stopped counting black people. By the late 1800s, black Argentines were officially declared almost extinct. President Domingo Faustino Sarmiento openly stated, the future of Argentina must be European. This was not accidental assimilation. It was demographic engineering. Was Argentina one of the worst? Argentina did not have the largest slave population. It did not run the biggest plantations. But many historians argue something darker. It used black bodies for war, neglected them in peace, and erased them in memory. Historian Alejandro Frigerio notes, Argentina did not just lose its black population, it chose not to remember it. Unlike Brazil or the US, Argentina rarely acknowledges its black past, rarely teaches Afro-Argentine history, built a national identity based on denying. Argentina did not simply abolish slavery. It consumed its black population through war, disease, poverty, and silence. And when black Argentines were gone from public view, the country rewrote its story. Not as a nation built by Africans, but as a nation that pretended they never existed. Was Argentina's treatment of black slaves worse because it erased them completely? Or is erasure just another form of violence?